What's up guys, Joey here,
And Arel of YugaTech.
and we're back for another
Ask
YugaTech. Alright, so I'm with Arel right now, not with Miguel because today is Miguel's birthday. Woohoo! But yeah, we're still continuing with another episode of Ask YugaTech as usual. So moving on to our first question is from John Ray Felen Hadrake Pacanya. With all the phones launched this year, it really gets complicated on what to consider and what to ultimately buy. My question is, out of the items below, which would you consider your priority first, the second until the last? Screen size, chipset, RAM and memory, battery size, OS, camera size, and brand. So it's definitely subjective and personal. It varies from user to user, so we're just gonna do our personal rankings. You go first.
I think I'll go for screen size, followed by
screen size number one.
yeah, battery,
Battery,
RAM and memory,
RAM and memory,
chipset,
chipset,
camera size,
camera.
OS environment, and lastly the brand.
Now it's screen size also, and then OS, then cameras, chipset, RAM and memory, and brand. So common between us is brand at the last because it's not about what logo is on there as long as it serves your needs.
Next question is from Ron Framil. Do you think bebenta pa din ang May 30 kahit walang G apps and services? Well, Joey has a video on how to install Google Play services on your Mate 30 if you have one, link here. At the end of the day, it varies if the person or the user wants to do it or not, because your Mate 30 comes with its own Huawei store. So if you want to do that extra process, then you're welcome to do so.
Yeah, but in the big picture, it's up to users to determine if they're willing to go through that extra step. Especially for the people who aren't like really tech enthusiasts, they just want to buy the phone and have it work right away. But for the people who are like more experienced users, it's up to them if they're willing to accept that they have to do this band-aid solution. It's not permanent.
Yeah.
We don't know yet the future of Huawei and Google. Okay, so next question is from Davil Rhapsody. For smooth gaming performance, does it really depend on the size of the RAM and the chipset? So gaming performance, a lot of factors. Chipset, which means both the CPU and the GPU. If you have lots of RAM, that helps also. If the read and write speeds of your storage are fast, if Android runs particularly well on your device, then these generally will provide a good gaming experience. But in a broader sense, yes, to your question, lots of RAM, good chipset will generally get you good gaming performance.
Next is from Abel Camacho II. Is the new Switch Lite worth buying, or much better yet buy a used PS Vita? Thanks. Well, they're both different kinds of consoles with different kinds of games, but if you're going to make me choose between the two, I'll go for the Switch Lite. Yeah, so it's basically newer than the PS Vita, and a lot of games nowadays are imported to that console. But if you're going to make me choose between the original Switch and the Switch Lite, I'd go for the original one because the original has more flexibility than the Switch Lite. So
Switch Lite, you're only gonna get the single player experience. Like you're not gonna be able to get the Joy-Con, give it to a friend, play Mario Kart together, connect it to a TV. You can't do that with the Switch Lite. So yes, the Switch Lite is cheaper, but that extra money you're gonna spend on the original Switch, I think is worth it in the long run. Next question is from Albert San Jose. Okay, some of the latest phones have fast charging technology. My question is, what does fast charging happen, or how does fast charging happen? Do they increase voltage, watts, or current? And what is the most effective fast charging technology? So yeah, I know you took engineering before, but it was chemical engineering. But from high school science, wattage is equal to volts times amps or current. Overall, for fast charging, the wattage is increased. In the past, manufacturers did that by increasing the voltage to increase the wattage, but that results in more heat dissipation, your battery
life.
being affected, all of that. But more recently, manufacturers have switched over to keeping the voltage lower, 5 or 10 volts, but bringing the current up, so more amps equals more wattage, which is arguably a better solution. And as to the question for which is the most effective fast charging technology, I'm gonna say, if you ask me right now, the best is Oppo's VOOC and Super VOOC, aka OnePlus Dash Charge and Warp Charge. They're super fast, they don't heat up your phone that much. The problem is they're proprietary.
That basically means that those two will only work for Oppo or OnePlus phones. So if you have like a Note 10 or something that supports fast charging, it won't
It's
work.
not gonna work.
So the next question comes from Genesis Penolio. Do you foresee foldable or flexible screen as the next trend for smartphones? Well, it's certainly the next step for smartphones form factor, but before that, I think manufacturers are gonna do like hiding the camera under the display. Yeah, basically
Hiding
Yeah.
hiding more components on the display.
Yeah.
So we have the under display fingerprint sensor.
Yeah,
What's
that come out
next?
first.
We have already under display speakers.
yeah.
What's next? We're gonna have under display cameras. We're gonna have under display Face ID sensors. We're gonna have more of the super curved displays like where's the Mate 30 Pro?
Oh, here.
Yeah, like super curved displays like the Mate 30 Pro
Or the next.
or the Nex. We also have the new, the Mi Mix Alpha
Yeah,
from Xiaomi. Like it curves 360 degrees.
Wraps around your phone. I mean, the screen wraps around your phone, and the ratio is like 100 plus.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely the next trend. Maybe foldable phones will be in the future, but more specifically for form factor, like the way we interact with our phone. That's definitely the next trend. But for the usual rectangular smartphone shape, the next trend is, these.
The curve.
Yeah.
Curve displays.
Next question is from Francis Luke Hulitan. How washing machines inspired smartphone design? Char.
So he's basically talking about the Mate 30 Pro. So yeah, it does really look like a washing machine design. But yeah, according to Huawei, it is inspired by Leica cameras. But, The next question is from VJ Castillo. He says, I'm not yet well knowledgeable about 5G, so I'm not sure if it is a relevant question, but even a smartphone with 5G capability launched here in the Philippines, does this really matter? I mean, is Philippines 5G ready already? I hope I'm having a point to my question.
Yeah, so the Philippines is, by definition, it's not yet 5G ready. 5G does exist here in the Philippines.
Yeah, there are certain places.
Certain places, and
BGC? Makati?
yeah.
Yeah.
Other countries, for that matter, already have 5G. The problem is, we can't consider ourselves 5G ready because it's not adopted as the standard. We're still using 4G LTE. But from a certain point of view, I think it does matter if you own a phone with 5G. Like, for example, the Mate 30 Pro.
30 Pro.
Because think about it this way. If you have a smartphone that's 5G ready, by the time the country you're living in is 5G ready, then so are you.
Yeah, you're basically future-proof.
You're future-proofing yourself.
Yeah.
Last question for this episode is from Chad Martinez. Facebook has lately ventured to cryptocurrency via Libra and now Horizon, the VR massive multiplayer world, and finally Portal, its own AI video calling device. These three items coming out from Facebook. Does the YugaTech team find this a little bit scary, a bit exciting, or nothing to worry about? Would like to know your general thoughts about it though. Thanks. So, I'm not sure about you guys, but I watch Black Mirror.
Yeah,
You watch Black Mirror?
Yeah.
This is some Black Mirror stuff coming out of Facebook. Potential Black Mirror stuff coming out of Facebook. So, it's definitely scary if you think about it in a Black Mirror sense.
Yeah.
But from a pure technology
kinda
sense,
cool.
it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's exciting. It's gonna be about how the users determine this technology will affect our culture, our consumption habits of technology. But we're a technology publication. All we can say right now is we're excited because it's technology. We can't really focus on like the psychological and the sociological aspects yet. but rest assured, if there's something inherently sketchy about either of these technologies, journalists around the world are gonna let the public know if there's anything wrong with it, if there's anything to be worried about. So right now, all we can do is speculate. Alright, so that wraps up this episode of Ask YugaTech. You know how this goes. If you want to ask a question for next episode, leave it in the comments down below, or watch out for our hashtag AskYugaTech post on our social media.
And if you find this video helpful, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to our channel for more content, hit the bell icon so don't miss any future uploads, and be sure to visit yugatech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. Again, this has been Arel
and Joey,
and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.